All right, people. Welcome to the G-Way Show, man. We back again, man, on the Friday night. We back again, man. It's y'all host, Jesus Peace. Back again, bringing y'all some more content, man. I was supposed to do something the other night on Wednesday, and I didn't get a chance to do it. And so we had to postpone it for tonight. And so if y'all see it tonight, y'all see what the title says. Snakeskin Bible episode. And man, this one here is gonna throw y'all for a doozy, man. Y'all gonna hear this story here, man. It's gonna really triple out of y'all lot, man. And my special guest tonight, man, he's coming back to tell his story once again. My good old friend, man, my buddy, my pal, man, my boy T Will, man. He coming back to spread the gospel and spread the news about this situation, man. And when we start talking about the snakeskin Bible, man, you're gonna realize what we putting down here tonight. So I'm just waiting for my boy to come in, man. I hope everybody had a good and happy Friday, man. Hope y'all go out, man, and have y'all a good cigar, have y'all a little cup of liquor, and y'all drive safe out there and do what y'all do, man. And for the subscribers, man, we want y'all to like, share, and subscribe to the G-Way Show, man. We want y'all to come in and interact with us or whatnot. You know what I'm saying? So put your comments. Y'all more than welcome to hit the link. If y'all want to come up and chop it up with us tonight after we get everything out on this episode of the Snakeskin Bible. So I'm just waiting for my man to come on in, though. And we gonna rock and roll, man. We gonna rock and roll. I'm locked and loaded tonight. I'm feeling good. I'm ready to go. And I was talking to my other cousin. I was talking to Hog earlier, and I was telling him, man, I was seeing some felonious things about the infamous T.I. T.I. is not what he portrays to be, man, but that's a whole nother story. So hold on, let me bring up my special guest, man. So we welcome into the show, man, my boy T Will, man. Y'all give him a round of applause, man. Give him a round of applause.
What's going on, G's?
Oh man, I can't call it T's. I can't call it, man.
All right.
We back again, man. How the Friday treating you, man?
It's so, man. We'll see how it finishes.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll see how it finishes, man.
Yeah, man. I'm peeping your energy right now, man. Look like you got a lot on your mind.
Well, this one's a lot. Don't get me wrong. All of this stuff has been deep, but this one cuts real deep because it goes back a long way. And some things in life you put away and you don't want to revisit them. But I think for everybody to understand how these things have transpired, there's a hidden character that we've never spoken about that needs to be talked about in this whole scenario.
Okay.
Now,
Can you hear me good?
yeah, I can hear you. Yeah,
Okay.
I'm sorry, I got a little bit of congestion, but
Take your time, man. Drink you some water, do something, man.
Yeah, I got it, man. I'm all right.
You all
But
right?
My boy Jeezy, he knows this character as Curb. Now, Curb somehow is my biological father. I'm not sure how. I don't know. I almost feel like I'm like Jesus or something. I just miraculously appeared because
Right.
outside of some physical appearance, there's not much me and him have in common.
Right.
Now, have you ever you ever known somebody that you remember your earliest memory of them was you thinking I don't like them?
Yeah. I had a lot of people in life like that, man. Probably right now, still to this day.
What would you do if you realized one of those people were your father?
That's a hard one, man. You know,
You know, as a kid, you're always taught that you're supposed to love and respect your father.
right.
But I didn't really grow up with this guy.
Well, for the people, well, let me say something right quick. I don't want to interrupt you because I know you got a lot to say. If you could give the people a descriptive background of your earlier years with Curb.
All right. When I was born, Curb was off in the Air Force. He didn't know I even existed.
Oh wow.
He came home on leave from the Air Force, and the word started spreading around. See, I'm from Tennessee, small town called Dyersburg.
Okay.
Curb is from Ripley,
Tennessee.
Ripley, Tennessee.
Okay.
Now, say the distance between Ripley and Dyersburg is roughly, say, like going from Mo City to Greenspoint.
Okay.
So, word of mouth can travel. So he comes back and he finds out that he has a son. He comes to meet me. Of course, these aren't my memories. This is what I've been told.
Oh wow.
Now, my memories of him start around 4 or 5 years old. Now, the most vivid memory I have of him was the 4th of July. Everybody else got their kids out and they shooting fireworks and everything. He don't want me to be like the other kids. He doesn't want me to shoot fireworks. He wants me to sit there and watch him shoot fireworks. I'm like, why can't I shoot fireworks? All these other kids can. Well, you're my son, and I don't want you to do this and do that. I'm like, ain't none of these other kids blowing up. Why can't I be like the normal kids? And he wanted to tell me all about the fireworks, but he did not want me to do any experiencing. Okay. And I'm like, for this, I could have stayed my ass in the house.
Right.
And I'm like, I'm listening to him, and I'm like, I don't like this dude, man. I don't want to be like him. At 5 years old, just imagine you're looking at your own father thinking, I don't really like him. I don't want to be nothing like him.
You felt like that off the first instance?
Yeah.
Or was it a series of things leading up to?
That's my earliest memory of it.
Okay.
I mean, I don't have any real early memories of him earlier, of me and him having any kind of conversations or anything. But that's my earliest memory of a conversation between me and him. And I thought to myself, like, he feels like a jerk. I don't like him and I don't want to be like him. And, I had this talk with my aunt before, and it blew her away because she didn't think I remembered that. Wow. Because she remembered it. And she's like, you felt like that then? I'm like, yeah. I mean, I've never liked a know-it-all. I've never liked a control freak. And he's both of those. So we're going to fast forward a little bit. I'm living in Houston. My mother, she's gotten married to an asswipe. And, at first me and him, we got along pretty all right. But it turned out he was a Epstein type creep.
The new guy.
The one that she was married to, my mom, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he was a child molester.
Oh,
Yeah, and it really fucked with me for a long time, man. You know, I was too young to know what the hell was going on, but when I did realize what was going on, I was embarrassed, man. I just locked that shit away.
how did you? What made you come to that conclusion that this was the kind of individual that he was? I mean, was it anything you found out in some paperwork?
No, I was a victim.
Oh,
And you know,
damn.
I didn't think that, you know, this guy that's been living with us and everything, I didn't think that he would do anything wrong. But you know, it I felt like what had happened didn't feel right.
Right.
So, you know, the dynamic between me and this cat changed. And you know, when he realized it changed, and when he realized I knew what the fuck he was, me and him began to butt heads all the time.
Quick question: where was your mother at this time?
She was married to this piece of shit. She was married to him, and this happened back in the day. I had chicken pox, and you know, you had to put on the calamine lotion. She
Oh yeah,
trusted
right.
him to be the one to do this mess, and he basically he let his creepy ass fucking instincts take over.
Man,
And, you know,
I'm sorry to hear that, man.
yeah, I mean, it's
Fuck.
only a few people who know this, and it took a long time for me to actually be able to confront it and actually speak the words out of my mouth about it. But you know, the conflict between me and this cat, it intensified to the point where, you know, even though I was a lot smaller than him, because back then I was a basketball player. All I used to run and hoop, jump all day. I didn't weigh shit.
If you had to guess, I mean, I know you know vividly. How old were you at this time?
Like maybe 9 or 10.
9 or fucking 10.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I mean, like, me and him butted heads a few times. I got kicked out. Well, we butted heads more than a few times, but I ended up getting kicked out the house like 3 times. And you know, it became a thing. Like, he would do little things to aggravate me and try to push my buttons. So on my 18th birthday, this fucker he decided he was gonna do everything in his power to fuck up my birthday. And my mom wouldn't step it up. She wasn't telling him leave my son alone. She kept letting him do this shit and told me I should have a better attitude about it. So on the day that's my birthday, they didn't fucked up my whole weekend so bad. I was like, my mom came to me. She's like, "Happy birthday," and blah 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 blah. What do you want for your birthday? I told her I want you and him to leave me the hell alone. I said I want to watch basketball in my room. I don't want you to bother me. I'm gonna take care of my own food. I don't want you to do anything. I want you and him to leave me the hell alone. She put her head down. And, well, he needs some help out here at this house. I'm like, really? For my damn birthday, man. You couldn't even leave me the fuck alone. You couldn't even give me peace on my birthday. And that was the last time I cried, man. I cried that day. And Curb called. And me and him talked, and I was telling him about the issue. And he didn't have my back either.
Wait a minute. He didn't have your back about the birthday, or
About the birthday.
okay. All right. And I got another question after that.
Oh, this is the part that's gonna fuck you up.
Okay. I'm
So
listening.
he starts asking all these questions about why I can't just turn the other cheek and look the other way and be the bigger man and blah 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 and blah blah blah. And he blurted out, "Did he rape you or something?" I was like, "Yes." And he said, "Whoa, whoa, whoa! What did you just say?" I said, "Yes." And he didn't have the reaction that you would think a father would have to that.
Right.
His immediate reaction was to try and blackmail me.
How was that?
He demanded that I move to California with him, or we would have to go public with everything. And you know, this is something that was deep, well, it still is deep scar. But the last thing on earth you want to do is have to talk about this in front of everybody. You know,
Right. Totally understand.
so that evening, right after I got off the phone with him, I walked out. I walked out and I went and did my own damn thing. I didn't help that piece of shit with the house or nothing. I was like, fuck him.
Right.
So that night when I came home, he told me I was kicked out. And I'm like, so fucking what? So, you know, I ended up, there was a deal brokered between my father and my mother for me to go live in California. I didn't want to go there. I shouldn't have had to go there. I didn't need to go there. Because at the time I was living with my god brother.
Right. Okay. Okay.
And you know, it was like I finally had some peace because I was away from all these fucking demons. But I honored the deal. I should not have honored it because I didn't make the deal. But you know, I honored it. And you know, I went down to California and I hated it. And you know, I realized that he wanted me there mainly so he could pretty much try to bully me and talk stupid to me and try and basically control me. He wanted to break me. And you know, I'm not the breaking type of person.
Right.
And you know, I had like I had been real peaceful, you know, go along to get along type of person at the time. You know, you're 18. You know, you don't really go around looking to fight with everybody.
Right.
And you know, he did this. He kept trying to push me around and tried to, you know, turn me from an 18-year-old back to a 12-year-old. He wanted to teach me all kinds of shit I already knew and everything, and wanted me to pretend that I didn't know it. He wanted to try and keep a leash on me and everything, and I'm like, dude, I was on the verge of being, well, I wasn't on the verge of, I was suicidal at the time. I didn't want to live.
Dealing with the trauma of.
All of this. I mean, I was a very unhappy person, man.
Gotcha.
Every time I'd been happy, these people destroyed it. And he didn't give a shit that I wasn't happy. It was about him being in control. You know, he was a religious person, and I was brought up in the church, sort of, so to say. And I wasn't deep into it, but you know, I had an understanding of it. And I didn't like what I was seeing. I didn't like the way things were going.
Now,
And
but let me intervene for a second. So your biological mother and father found out this information about the creep.
and did nothing.
Both parties did nothing.
Did absolutely nothing.
That's a goddamn shame.
They both looked to see what they could get out the deal.
What was in? So what would have been in the deal for your mother's half of the story?
Oh, she got to stay married.
Wow. You know, man, back in the day, a lot of women would have did anything for the man back then that they was trying to deal with. You know what I'm saying? So,
like, I don't know. He's a Louisiana cat, and they were deep into that voodoo shit. I don't know. Maybe he put some voodoo or something on her, but I didn't really care. I really wanted to be away from them. But the situation I got up in California was even worse because I couldn't stand my father.
okay.
So, I'm sitting there, I'm like, I couldn't stand him. Every time this motherfucker was actually reading my mail. He actually was opening and reading my mail and wanted to come tell me about it. And I'm like, dude, I should punch you in your fucking face. You're reading my fucking mail before I read it. That's worse than being in jail, man.
Right.
So,
I understand, man.
I hated it so much. I was like, really, if I could have came up with a way to really guarantee that I was going to die, I would have done it, man. But I was afraid that if I went through and did something and ended up retarded in a fucking wheelchair for the rest of my life or something stupid like that, I'm like, I don't want to try this and fail. And, I sit there and I'm in the room all by myself and I'm thinking to myself, like, none of this shit is my fault. Why should I be the one dead when I didn't create any of this shit? All of this shit was these people's decisions. So,
Quick question: the way they structure themselves, did they have fucked up past from both sides of their families?
All right. To my knowledge, both my grandfathers were great men. Neither one of them took no shit. And I know if my grandfather on my mom's side knew what was going on, he would have beat the shit out of him, her, and everybody else.
Right.
My mother lied on me to her side of the family and said all the fallout was because of me.
Damn.
To this day, only a couple people in the family even know what really happened. But if I told them, they would crucify her. Now, my father's side is totally different. Like, for the longest, I was like, even though I wasn't the oldest grandchild, I was the closest thing that they had to the oldest grandchild because I was nearby. My mom was very giving of the free time. I spent a lot of time with my grandparents on both sides. And they got to a point where they loved me to the point where they would fight for an extra weekend or an extra day or whatever.
Right, because practically at that point, you their child.
Yeah. So, my mom was only, 18 when she had me? My dad was 19. So, I was like the golden child. Whatever I said, I got,
Right.
And, when I moved out of Tennessee, all of that stability was gone. Now, I didn't know it, but back in the day, my grandmother was a bit wild, slept around. And, it didn't occur to me until later on in life that most of my aunts did not look the same. Had 2 light-skinned ones, 2 short ones, 2 tall ones, 2 dark-skinned ones. 3 dark-skinned ones. And Come to find out that, my grandfather knew about the cheating, but he toughed it out trying to keep the family together.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know. I mean, that would have been a very, very fucking hard thing to do. I mean, but that's some deep, deep love for your family, for you to just tolerate that.
Right.
But my mom didn't get along with my aunts. So, every now and then I would hear little backbiting and all this and all that. But, to me, I'm like, these are the people that have always loved me. So I'm like, hey, you got to shut the fuck up.
So what do you mean? Like, they didn't get along for as?
Like, my aunts always thought my mom was in it for money.
Mm.
My mom always would say things about them being whorish or things like that. And I'm sitting there and I'm like looking at her. I'm like, these are my aunts, right? And eventually it would get to the point where there was a truce made. Like, okay, we're gonna shut the fuck up. No more this, no more that, back and forth.
Right.
Which was the proper thing to do. Now, my grandfather on my first off, both of my grandfathers were tall.
Okay.
My father is probably 5'6". He's a fucking midget. He has very little in common at all with the man I call my grandfather. He's a sniveling little bag of monkey shit. He's a liar. He doesn't have a backbone at all. None of these things go back to my grandfather, Jody Wilson.
Okay.
Now, Jody Wilson came up, in the time when, in the races,
Right.
And he didn't take no shit. He called a cracker to his face.
He came out the real segregation era.
Yeah, he came out the real segregation era, and he didn't put up with no bullshit. And I was always his favorite, man. I always sat around with him, and he would play the guitar, and I would listen to him. I would talk his ear off, and he'd tell me about these war stories and all this stuff.
Wow.
And
amazing.
Yeah. He was a very hard man. I mean, he was a very, very tough man, but very loving.
Right.
And they tell me the day when I moved to Houston, that was the only time they ever saw him cry. So fast forward a bit.
This your show, man. You do what you need to do. Take it where you need to take it to. I was just trying to give people a backfield of leading up to the current present day stuff of what the snakeskin Bible is really meaning.
All right. So, my senior year in high school, I came back to visit in Tennessee. And my grandfather, he said, okay, enough of this. He went out and got him some young women. Started dipping his shit, getting his shit wet, catching up on all the past shit that he didn't get while he was doing the family thing. And everybody had tried to give me this negative impression of him and all this and all that. So when I came back, I got to see him. And when I asked him what was going on with him, he looked at me and with this little sly grin, like, you gonna try. I'm like, I just looked at him. I told him, I can't judge you. I'm just asking you what's going on with you. How you doing? I can't judge you. You're my grandfather. How the hell could I judge my grandfather?
Right.
I mean, that, and like I said, I didn't know any of this past, but I knew I wasn't going to judge you. I'm like, I don't know, so I'm just going to shut up. That's not my place. So, when I moved out to California, we had this huge, just every other day, it was always something. And, it got to the point where, the go along to get along shit was not working. Because if you go along, he all he did was do even more shit to piss you off, or try this or try that. And he always would bring up friends to try and embarrass me or something, try and throw me under the bus. So, I've always been a natural, always have been very observant and can spot shit in society real easily.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm looking at California and I'm like, this place fucked up, man. And I hated it there. So, he asked me why one day, and I say no place for a black man. And he's like, why you say that? I'm like, anytime the prosecution gets 2 shots at you and you get only one chance to defend yourself, no, hell no, that's not good for you. And he had some friends over one day, some friends that he thought were super educated or super smart. So he decided he was going to try and throw me under the bus and have them all criticize me in front of him. So he says, Terrence here thinks that California is racist and not for black people. And the main guy that he wanted to hear this was like, I agree with him. And he's like, young brother, sit down, tell me what you have observed. And I sat there and had like a 30-minute conversation with this guy. And this guy was like super impressed. And Curb sitting up there, he's like thinking that he was gonna have me feeling all stupid or whatever. He was the one who felt stupid. And after that day, he kind of looked at me a little different. And he was always pissed. So I went and I got me a job. I snuck around and found me a job working at Burger King to get me a bus ticket out of California. That's how bad I wanted out of there. That night when I sat there and I was really ready to end it, and I thought to myself, I'm like, why should I be the one dying when I didn't make any of these damn choices? I'm unhappy because of these 2 clowns making decisions for me based on what they want.
Right, that's mom and pops.
Yeah,
gotcha.
Keep in mind, when both of them were leaving me the fuck alone, I was making straight A's. I mean, I went and I did my SAT because honestly, I never even really thought about college. All I could think about was get me away from these damn people.
You was under some major distress dealing with them kind of people, man. I mean, I can imagine how stressful it was, man. And like I say, man, I'm shocked about what I'm hearing, and I didn't even know none of that. So that really done blow me out the water. But like I say, man, you my boy, so I'm apologizing for you even having to go through that, man, because that's some real fucked up, traumatizing shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And no kids should have to endure nothing like that, man. You know what I'm saying? Because if I had a kid and I found out some shit like that, God forbid, I know what I'm gonna do. I'm going to prison.
Yeah, and I feel the same way. But I'm telling you this background because it all
ties in. Gotcha.
To the present state. All right, so when I was away from them, I actually really got to think about my own future and everything. And I took my SAT. I didn't even know nothing about the SAT and none of this shit. All I knew was they said you need to take this if you plan on going to college. So I went in there and I didn't have the calculator. I didn't really have any prep time or none of this. I just went in there. And, I did my best. And, I didn't know how they scored or anything. So when I saw the scores, I'm like, damn, not that hot, man. So, I was telling what I thought was a friend at the time about it. And I didn't want to show the score. He kept nagging me. He was like, man, come on, man, just show it to me. And when I showed it to him, his smile went to a frown. And I'm like, what? He's like, you know what you just scored? I'm like, I know I didn't pass. What? I didn't know you were supposed to add the scores up. I thought I was like, I knew that the 700 was passing.
Right.
I thought you needed to have 700 on both of them. It turns out I was like at 1100, which was way better than what he did. And he had been practicing and studying for this forever.
Right.
And when I found that out, I'm like, dude, if I'd had any kind of support whatsoever growing up, there's no telling what the hell I could have actually have done.
And I'm apologize to you for that, man, because I think we was all a victim to that shit, man. A lot of us, bro.
Yeah, I always call us the generation that came from people that wasn't supposed to be parents.
Damn.
So, I knew I had done good, but I didn't know what to do next.
Right.
And U of H was the only school I put down. And I didn't know it, but U of H wanted me. But I didn't know what to do. I didn't know nothing about
guidance to...
No, I didn't have no guidance, no nothing. No student aid, no nothing. Nobody told me shit. Everything was pointed towards just get on the plane, go to California. Just get out, get away from here. Don't be a problem, and the thing was, I never was a problem. I never was a person that got in trouble. I didn't get in trouble in school. I didn't get arrested. Didn't do drugs. Didn't do none of this shit. But I was a kid that was fed up of getting the short end. So I was like, I didn't put up with his bullshit, with her husband's bullshit. Like he did abusive shit to her.
To moms.
Yeah. And I was like,
is this guy still alive?
Yeah, I've seen him a few times since. He's scared that he won't get out of his car when he sees me.
Oh, okay. I thought when you say I thought about something. Okay, I'm with you. Man, what a real piece of shit that motherfucker is, man.
Oh yeah,
a real low down motherfucking piece of shit, man.
Yeah, he tried to play like he was innocent and like I just had these wild, crazy, vivid things, and he tried to speak to me. He like, you ain't gonna speak to me. I said, you get out that truck, I'm gonna beat the living shit out of you. And as soon as I said that, he closed that door, he got back in there and drove his ass off.
Fuck, man. Damn.
Yeah. My mom didn't divorce him. He ended up divorcing my mom.
And I can understand why you feel the way you feel about mom a lot more better now. That hearing this story helped me understand a lot.
Yeah.
I mean, I hope it helped the people out here understand a lot too, man. We streaming, we on 3 different platforms right now. When we run this show, we're gonna finish the show and shit like that. And everybody, whoever watching the show, man, like, share, subscribe to the channel, man. Help us get those likes up. Help us get the story out there, man. We need your people's help right now. But after the show is over, man, we're going to take the story and just share it and do what we need to do, man, so we can get to the proper places. Because I'm tired of playing. I know you need the help on the other situation of what we getting into about the snakeskin Bible. But yeah, man, that dude is a real piece of shit, man. I mean, they need to have his ass in the middle of the town, man, where we all could beat the living shit out this dude, man. And that's some fucked up shit. You know what I'm saying? And then for mom,
keep in mind, he survived only because two people didn't want to embarrass their own self and admit their part in not stopping it.
Mm.
And sad part is, it's a lot more that's going on than what you would ever like to imagine, man. So I leave California and I come back to Houston.
Okay.
And you know, I thought, okay, we don't have to see each other. Maybe we could communicate. Maybe we could build a relationship. Maybe me and Pops, we could find some ground. Because I didn't hate him, but I didn't like being around him, and I didn't like the way he tried to push himself on me. I remember he was the reason I stopped going to church. See, at the time I had my kid and play ass suits and shit. I mean, I had all kind of vivid color suits. I had the ties, the shirts, and everything.
Right.
And you know, church folks, they have their own little nuances. They have their little. They don't have. They ain't got the lives that they need to have. They go around and they look for things to whine and nitpick about.
Right.
So one of the things that they nitpicked about was the way I wore my tie. So one Sunday we're getting ready to go to church, and I'm getting dressed, and he comes in there trying to fix my tie for me, and I'm like, leave my tie alone. He's like, no, I'm just trying to fix it. I'm like, it's fixed. Leave my tie alone. And he tries to tell me that the people at church had something to say about the way I wear my tie. And I'm like, so? They're like, what do you mean, so? I'm like, they ain't supposed to be in there worried about my tie. They're supposed to be in there worried about the word of God, right? And he got pissed because I drug him to the carpet and he didn't have a defense for it. So he told me, fine, you don't go to church then. And geez, if there was ever one thing that was saving grace for California, it was Sunday in football season. Pretty much from the moment you wake up in California, there's football on. If you like football, that's heaven. So while they're sitting up there at church, I'm sitting up there like, man, y'all should have kicked me out of church a long time ago, man. I'm like, hell, I don't ever want to go back to church. Hell, look at this. I get to see every single game. So I'm like, hey, I don't really need this shit. And you know, the fact that he's calling himself a preacher, but every time you call him up on something real, he can't defend himself. But as I said, when I came back, I tried to communicate with him, tried to build a relationship. He wanted nothing to do with it.
And that's when you came back to Houston.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So, you know, I mean, I went on about my life doing things, and, you know, eventually I got the job at TSA. You know, I started building things, figuring things out, figuring how life needed to be. Had my own money. I wasn't struggling for shit. So, you know, when he asked me to come visit, I was like, all right, cool. I bought my own ticket. I made sure that my ticket had me leaving before church. I didn't want to stick around and go to his baloney ass church and see them doing all this nonsense. And I came down and I'm visiting, and my brother's there. Me and my brother, we're talking and everything. And my brother is like, my father, he's in tried to, I don't know, he tried always to try and play me against my brother. And he was telling me about my brother was a bishop or a deacon or whatever in church or whatever, and all this and all that. I get down there, my brother's smoking weed in the house. Which, don't get me wrong, a lot of people smoke weed. I don't give a shit.
Right.
I just found it funny that he's talking all this and he has no idea what my brother does. And my brother's like, he's telling me all about church and everything, and he's telling me what a joke it is. Like, my dad's sitting up here swearing up and down that my brother will one day grow up to be a pastor. My brother's telling me he's a full-blown atheist.
God damn. Goddamn. Yeah, man. We got to bring a little bit of lightness to this right here, man.
Oh, you're gonna laugh about this stuff, man. This part you're gonna laugh about. So we had to go for a Bible study thing in there, and you see the people in church. And these people are like a Martin episode on acid. They had this old white guy in there, and I used to call him the Unabomber. He looked like fucking Ted Kaczynski. He looked like he just crawled out of a trash can and came in there. And there was another guy in there. You're doing a Bible study. You don't go in there looking like you fucking Teddy Riley. But no, this guy's in there with all these flashy, crazy suits on, and I used to call him Brother Pimp Suit.
Brother Pimp Suit. Oh shit, Brother Pimp Suit.
Yeah, and it was funny because Brother Pimp Suit was trying to get with my baby sister. And I mean, she's sitting up here blowing him off, and I'm looking at him, I'm like, dude, you're my age. I should beat the shit out of you. But the fact that he's getting no play is like hilarious. I'm like, I don't even need to whoop your ass. You are fucking pathetic already. And what was it? The pastor, he used to call himself, all these people in there, they would give themselves all these epic ass names. It'd be like if me and you were up here talking, I call myself Thor and you said you're Iron Man. So the pastor called himself the Apostle. And he looked like Ron Isley, man.
Oh shit. God damn.
But dude, he when they would be singing the little songs or whatever, he would be sitting in his chair acting like he is Super Saiyan powering up or some shit. And I'm sitting there and I'm like, how do you do this and not laugh, man? And they had this wall in the back where they would give you a plaque depending on how much money you gave to the church. And I'm like, oh my God, I couldn't help it. I had to go back in the back and look to see where my dad's name was and see how much money he had donated. But apparently he told him not to put up a plaque. Because they were telling you how much each plaque costs for you to get.
Right.
And I'm sitting up here like, am I the only person hearing this shit, or did you just basically tell these idiots, open your wallet and we'll take your money? So, this church thing was so wild and out of hand. I mean, the only thing missing would have been some damn snake handlers. But that is part of why, this episode is called the Snakeskin Bible. After seeing this, you can't really look at anybody and take them serious as being people of God. You couldn't take anybody serious on that. So, we fast forward a little bit, and my brother's getting ready to go off to the army. And I asked him, me and him talked about it, and I shared with him, I bought him a book called Behold a Pale Horse.
Man. And you know what? You the one told me about that book a long time ago, man.
Mm-hmm.
And once I read that book, man, it changed my life, man. I was like, damn.
Yeah, I read that thing when I was fucking 20, man. You imagine a 20-year-old getting revealed that kind of shit all by itself?
It's wicked.
You don't have nobody to talk to, and you've just been revealed that kind of stuff. That blows your mind, man. For about 2 weeks, I didn't sleep.
It blew my mind the first time I ever read it too.
Yeah. So I bought it and sent it to my brother. That book had Curb scared. That book also had Curb's wife scared. Now, I don't talk about her a lot because she doesn't say much. She basically lets Curb dominate everything.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you can't have a conversation with her without Curb jumping in there to try and take the attention off from her onto him.
Do you think his wife is a part of the problem also?
Oh, I know.
Damn.
She's necessary.
What role do she play?
She's the financial backbone.
Oh.
Yeah, she retired from the
She's the financier.
She was on the verge of being a one-star general in the Air Force.
Damn. She got ranked.
Yeah. Yeah, she was a lieutenant colonel.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
She ain't playing no games.
Yeah, she met a few presidents. She's in there, shook the hands of everything. And basically, my brother, he read the book and he got deep into it and he asked her about it and it scared her. Because in that book, there are things that she's involved in that she can't talk about.
And the book discussed it.
Mm-hmm. So when I came to visit my brother right before he went off to the army, my dad was frustrated because neither one of us gave a shit about him. Neither one of us gave a shit about him. We didn't need him, and whenever he goes around and tried to take over conversations, we laughed at him. So he stayed away the whole time I was there. Me and my brother, we talked about a lot of stuff. And it was pretty deep, pretty intense. I mean, some of the things we talked about, most of them reverted back to, yeah, we have a real piece of shit for a father. And we talked about, I told him, I'm like, look, you're basically entering into the mouth of the lion. You're going to be in the military, and eventually they're going to ask you to do something you're not going to feel so good about. And I told him, gave him this one piece of advice. I said, look, save your money for the day when they actually ask you to do something you ain't okay with, so you'll be able to get the hell away from there. You'll be able to walk away.
Did brother take your advice?
I don't know. Me and him don't speak anymore.
What would be the reason for y'all not to even speak anymore?
I'm pretty sure Curb had a lot to do with it. I'll break that down to you in a little bit.
So Snakeskin Bible has a lot of evading tactics. And it has a lot of layers and chapters to it too. Mm-hmm. That's why I say the Snakeskin Bible episodes has its own stories.
So, we fast forward and I meet Mariel. Now, he had been nagging me for years and years to make him some grandchildren. And I always told him, I don't want kids that aren't with me. I don't want a baby mama. So, I meet what I thought was a good woman to settle with. And I introduce him to her. And he's all excited and everything. And he's running his mouth bragging about how he can't wait to help me. And, you think this guy's been married virtually my entire life. So, yeah, he should know something, He should know something about what he's doing. So, when me and this piece of shit get married and I bring her here, first thing he wants is us to come visit him in DC. And almost immediately, he starts trying to judge me.
What do you mean he tries to start judging you?
Like, he's watching everything I do, watching everything she does, watching everything she has, watching everything I have. And there was a moment we went out to visit downtown DC and see all the bullshit monuments and everything. It was fucking cold. Mariel didn't have gloves. She had her hands in her pocket. And he comes to me. He's like, "Can I see your hands?" And I pulled my hands out, and he looked and saw that I didn't have gloves either. He's like, "Oh, I was gonna say you better not have gloves in your wife." I'm like, "Man, you better shut the fuck up, man."
So he was trying to critique you as being the husband, watching the interactions between you and your wife at the time.
Right. Now, he'd already started trying to charm her. And, me and him, we have this, it's like a doomsday clock when me and him meet. It's like, okay, we're counting down to the moment when the blowout is about to happen. I'm like, okay, you got maybe 48 hours before this happens. And, he goes in and he tries to talk me into going back into the federal government and moving to DC. Now, I told him straight up, I'm like, look, I can't go back in the federal government. Wow, you just think that? I say, I know that.
Was he, so by him saying that, was he willing to try to pull some strings for you to try to get back into the federal government?
Yeah, he wanted to do that.
Okay.
But I'm like, I don't want to do that,
You had enough of it from what we endured from the TSA era.
Right. And once you're sitting up there and these people are following you around, harassing you and everything, that's no way you want to live.
Right.
And I'm like, hell, I don't want to go back to doing that. Hell, I'm perfectly fine the way I am.
Living a normal life.
Yeah, so I told him no. Later on that day, he calls Mariel and me into the study. I don't know why he calls it the study, but he calls it the fucking study. And we're sitting there, And he goes in selling her all these beautiful ideas and everything. If only we could get Terrence to go back to the government. I'm like, I went and I cussed him out. And she thought I was being disrespectful. And me and her had a big fight about that. And I had to tell her, I'm like, look, me and him already had this damn discussion. He's trying to use you as a way to try and control me.
And hearing that, I'm gonna tell you what else. It was like he was low key trying to cause division.
He's always been doing that.
Right. I'm just listening to the story from the outside looking in, and I'm trying to let the people. We rolling now though. We rolling. You dead spot on of what you talking about.
Right. So I'm married. My brother's also married. Now, according to him, he didn't approve of my brother's marriage.
And why is that?
My brother didn't give a rat's ass about him and didn't ask him for nothing. Now, I didn't ask him for nothing either, but I did introduce Mario and tell him my plans. My brother didn't tell him nothing. And my brother was married to a white girl.
Whoa.
Now, Don Lemon here, he talks all this hardcore militant shit and everything, but he loves white people. He talks mad shit like he's Malcolm X, but no. He's Bryant Gumbel, he's Don Lemon, he's all of these rolled up in one. All he missing is a white husband. So,
wow.
He's talking all this major shit about the girl. But in her face, oh, my darling, my daughter, my precious daughter, how dare anybody to say anything against her? And I'm like, you shut your funk ass up. Yeah, I'm saying, like, he talking his shit, but he don't know. My aunt tells me what he really says behind her back. So I'm like, listen to this clown, man. So, it was right after we got married, Marielle was pissing me off because she was trying to go through my shit, trying to dig up dirt on me, and she was calling up my mother and him.
What? Okay, so hold on right quick. So for the people out there in the YouTube universe, elaborate on what kind of dirt she was trying to pull up. Like, what was she looking into? What kind of intel she was looking for to try to find some kind of smut on you and your name?
She's pretty good at hacking shit. And she hacked my laptop and went back into the old Yahoo messages and was reading everything that went on between me and an old ex-girlfriend. Now the ex-girlfriend, she had a pretty wild lifestyle, and she pretty much shared me with her friends. And it was pretty wild. It was some just wild shit that went, But when I decided I was getting married, all of that came to a screeching halt. She wanted to basically paint me in a bad light and paint her as this angel. So she went to my mom with this, and my mom told her, how about you stop digging in his shit? You don't want to find this stuff out. Get out of his shit. He ain't doing nothing. He ain't cheating on you. He's taking good care of you. Get out of his business.
When you found this out, did you look at it as it was a red flag?
Jeez, I almost booked her a flight back to Peru.
Gotcha.
The only thing that stopped me from booking her flight was the Jarrell was in her stomach. And I was like, I can't send my firstborn away. So, she went and told the great Curb, and Curb tried to plaster me as this demon. Like, that's cheating. And I'm like, how the hell is that cheating? And I realized that no matter what, he was gonna try to paint me in with this crazy brush as whatever the hell she wanted. And he looked at this as a way to keep me under his thumb and him be my spiritual leader.
Oh, I like the I like the way you said that. His spiritual leader.
Yeah, he wanted to be the Grand Poobah or whatever the hell you want to call it. So he gave this horrible piece of advice. He said that I should be completely open and honest with her and remove all passwords. And I laughed about it because I knew it was bad advice, but at the same time, I knew I wasn't doing shit. I mean, not to toot my own horn, but I lived quite the fucking life before I decided to get married.
And plus, I'm gonna be honest with you. I look at it from the outside looking in. If me hearing this and going back, and now I'm able to sit on the microphone and analyze it. Man, I take this as a sign of disrespect towards you and stuff, because that woman should have known better that you my boy, but y'all had a whole nother side with each other as a family, right? So at this point, she should have known your character and your tendencies at this point to really know that you wasn't doing anything. But to me, when I'm hearing this, it seems like she was looking for something to masquerade shit that she was doing behind closed doors, behind your back.
Well, this part's it's gonna fuck you up when I get to the end, because basically this is her whole game plan every time. The only problem is it didn't work on me. She never had any leverage on me. See, so things got real smooth and everything, and Curb, he what was it? It was this at the time I was working at Waste Management.
Okay.
And I got suspended over some BS. They basically suspended me for taking my lunch break and eating breakfast at a what's the name of that? Frank's
Grill.
Yeah, Frank's Grill. They had fucked up the business so bad that we had a 2-hour gap between stops where we had nothing to do. So we stopped and went to, me and my partner, we stopped and went to Frank's. I'm eating and I see this Steve Bass looking piece of shit. He comes up, taps me on the shoulder, and I'm like, "Hey, how's it going, man?" And he doesn't shake my hand. He just shakes his head at me. Like, I'm like, the fuck's that about? So, I go on about my day. I finish up. I come back into work and find out that I've been suspended. And I'm like, what is this mess about me being suspended? I asked my manager, and she's like, well, what'd you do today? I'm like, I went and picked up my stops. She's like, did you eat? I'm like, yeah. And she's like, aha, you admit it. I'm like, I'm supposed to eat. What the hell are you talking about? She's like, was it breakfast? I'm like, yeah. And she's like, uh-huh. And you just thought you needed to eat breakfast? I'm like, I didn't have anything to do. And she went down the list of all these things. I'm like, did that. And she's like, well, then what? So you just thought you'd stop for breakfast? I'm like, the next place didn't open up until 9. We were already done at 7:30. We didn't have anything we could do. So yeah, I ate breakfast. And she's like, oh. I feel bad. I'm like, feel bad for what? She's like, I just suspended you. And I'm like, how you suspend me for something and you ain't even spoke to me? You don't even know what happened. Turn around, the Steve Bass looking piece of shit called it in on me. He could have spoken to me and asked, but
What
no,
was he? What was he to the company?
he was one of the higher ups in waste management. And he felt a certain way that my nigga ass was sitting up there eating at the same place as him for breakfast. So he didn't speak to me. He just patted me on the back like, I got you. Had he actually spoken, he would have understood that our next stop don't even open for another hour and a half. So yeah, we're eating breakfast.
So did the suspension was upheld?
They kept the suspension on me. So
that's messed up.
When we went out there to visit Curb swore up and down, if we needed any help, just ask him. So I told him, I said, okay, we need some help. He sat there and said, I'm going to pray about it. Now, while we were in DC visiting this bastard, he threw money around all the time. He opened up a case underneath the bed filled with thousands of dollars and showed it to me. And I'm like, okay.
What was the purpose of him doing that?
To throw it in my face.
This how I'm doing it.
Yeah. So baby, I can help you, but I gotta see about it. I'm like, no, you said you could help and you would help. I asked you for help, and all you've done is throw the money in my face, but didn't help us.
He basically wanted you to be under his tutelage at this point. If I show you the money,
he wanted me to be like, make him my Maharaji or something. He wanted to be Vince McMahon.
Curb is diabolical, man. He's real diabolical, man.
Yeah. So, I peep it real quick. And I told Mario, I say, look, we're not going to fucking play this game.
He didn't show her the suitcase, right?
No, but I was there and I told her about it. And she's like, so what is he doing? Does that mean he's not going to help us? I said, he never said. And, like I only had a limited amount of cash at the time. So when we went to church, he's sitting up there watching to see how much I put in the collection plate. And he said, why'd you only give $5? I said, because I wasn't going to give him a 20. He's like, why not? I'm like, because that's what I got. Hell, I'm not about to give him my last $20.
And you ain't a member of the church. Why would you do that?
Yeah. He talking about that's not how God's people work. I'm like, well, fuck it. Maybe I'm not God's people. Maybe I'm my people.
I'm listening. Go ahead. I'm listening.
So, I come back home and I'll make things happen. I make a couple moves. And, I got the money together to take care of the shit that needed to be taken care of. Wasn't pretty. I went into some debt, had to pay a little extra, but things got taken care of. Yeah. He calls up my mom 2 weeks later. I think I'm going to help him. So he comes calling me, telling me he's going to help him. I'm like, with what? He's like, well, what's y'all little problem? I'm like, I already fixed it. So he was like a little teed off because, basically I'm like, your little plan didn't work. So, we go through our tough times and everything, but, brother makes it happen and Jarrell is born. And, he comes down and he visits Jarrell and everything and all this. And, we used to do this little thing where he wanted grandchildren so bad, I'm like, hey, every Saturday we'll call you up and we'll do a video chat or, whatever. And it went well for say about 2 months. All of a sudden, he started telling the boys he's too busy. He gonna call them back, or they need to call him back, or all this and all that. So after about the third time of him blowing the kids off, I'm like, well, fuck him then, man. Both me and Mario both agreed that, fuck him. He ain't got time for them. We not gonna push him on him. So, we went on about our business. We doing life. And the incident happened with Joshua. I don't know if you knew about this one, but one Halloween, I think it was because Jarrell went as Darth Vader. I remember that Halloween. He had a cute little Darth Vader suit on. Jarrell was like 1.5 or something like that. And there was this went into this wealthy neighborhood, and they had this big bowl filled with candy. And when you got close to it, this hand would pop out. Josh and his big ass brain went on overdrive with this hand and started obsessing with it. Before you know it, he done made up a whole character and everything of this damn hand. And he's having night terrors and screaming and not sleeping and shitting on himself from just seeing this damn hand. So we're trying to get him some help, trying to get him a psychiatrist, only to find out that all the child psychiatrists are gone and don't take insurance anymore because of Obamacare. So we're stuck in a weird place, and because he's shitting on himself at school, they think he's gotten raped. So they send CPS over to us. And, we've been talking with Curb about, us maybe moving out to DC so we can have some support to help us get Joshua some help. Keep in mind, this had nothing to do with anything about me. It had nothing to do with anything about money. It just had to do with getting Joshua some help.
Change the scenery, you know what I'm saying? And
have family around him that can help and, take him to appointments and stuff like that.
And things get back to normal.
Yeah. Curb played stupid when we told him about moving. He said he wanted us to come there and everything. But when we were ready to go, he's talking about he's waiting on a sign from God. I'm like, what sign do you need? You say you want us there. I got the money for the plane tickets. I'll send them out there and I'll drive the car up there. He talking about God ain't gonna told me that that's what I need to do. He might tell me to do this. He might tell me to do that. And it got so weird in there. I think Josh really put off a lot of bad energy in the apartment because it felt like the place became haunted. Like nobody could sleep in the damn place. I mean, I could sleep, but nobody else in the house could sleep. So we went to stay at my mom's place. And like within a couple days, Mom said we can't stay.
What? What?
Yep, we got kicked out.
What made Mom say that?
Mom started telling me about bills. Keep in mind, the only thing again we were talking about was a child's health.
What did bills have to do with him getting help? Getting him back on track the way he really needed to be.
The same thing it had to do with me getting money to try and get my kids back with a lawyer. When it comes down to me, she didn't give a shit. Comes down to my kids, she don't give a shit. Plain and simple.
Oh my God.
So Curb comes up with this idea that we should stay in a hotel until he gets the sign. So I have like a couple $1,000, and we go to this hotel, and we're there, and it's weird because we have 4 people living in a hotel for a week, and it burns through maybe about $1,000, maybe about $1,000 in 2 weeks, right?
God still ain't sent no sign.
Yeah, he's waiting for monkeys to fly backwards or something. And this motherfucker tells me he's sending me some kind of brochure about some school. And I'm like, all right, well, yeah, I'll take a look at it. So, a day passes and he comes calling me, talking mad shit about I'm taking things for granted and I haven't looked at the brochure. I'm like, he's talking crazy. So I shot back at him. I say, hold on. I have a child here who's scared the fucking death of the dark, shitting on himself. I'm living in a hotel. I think I have the right to tell you I ain't had enough time to look at this damn thing yet. And he was like, he backed off because he realized how stupid he sounded. So, I was a little curious. I'm like, what is this shit that he's talking that I need to check out? I open up this brochure that he didn't sent me. Jeezy, you know what this school was for?
Theology.
No, much worse.
Catching the demons.
No. Much more absurd.
Because I was thinking about the Lawson video, man.
Oh, we're going to get on the Lawson too. Jeezy, this was a fucking brochure on how to be a fucking janitor. Talking about a school to teach you how to fucking wax floors, how to mop shit. And I'm sitting there like, dude, I make way more than a goddamn janitor now. What the fuck are you talking about?
Did he clarify why he did that? Did he?
He's one of these morons that sit around and watch CNN all day and believe them when they say black people are struggling and we can't get a fair shake and all this and there's no jobs and everybody's making minimum wage. He tried to tell me, I'm like, dude, I've never made minimum wage in my life. What the fuck are you talking about? So, we ended up not accepting his help and moving in with these some folks. And it became like a big issue because these people, they try to take advantage.
What kind of people? What we talking about?
At the time, Marielle had been she had taken a part-time job working on the internet selling appliances for this guy. And the guy didn't want her to leave because it was like she was a good salesperson for him. So he offered us to stay at the warehouse where the shit was, where all the appliances were. And everything started out cool, but then he started trying to make passes at Marielle and all this shit. So I threatened to whoop his ass. So, we ended up having to leave there, and we just so happened to get enough money strung together to get an apartment. And, when I explained to the people what the problem was, they made an exception for us, and we had a large 1-bedroom townhome with enough room in the bedroom for 3 beds. So Josh and Jarrell had their own bed, and me and her had our own bed. But everybody was in one room. And, things got better. And, we got shit put back together and everything. But I didn't know Curb had been sending money through my mom to help us get back on our feet. He felt guilty. Oh, I didn't even tell you about the part where me and him had the blowout. Me and him, we had a big blowout right before we moved into the apartment. Because, he called up one day and I told him, I said, look, once we're clear with this whole CPS thing, because we ended up with a CPS case because of this whole mess. And I told him, I said, look, we'll move to DC, but we're doing it our way. And he said, what do you mean your way? And I told him, we're going to find our own place. We're going to make our own choices. We're going there, but we're not going there to live off of you. We're going there to be our own people, be our own house. He got mad and told us don't come. And he started trying to give me this whole thing about what I don't know. And I'm sitting up here listening to him, and I'm like, dude, I'm 35 years old. I've lived by my goddamn self most of my life. And you're going to tell me what I don't know about living? And I just didn't say that. I let him talk for a little bit. And then he said some mess about getting an apartment. And I called him out on it. I said, you never had an apartment in your day in your life, dude. So how the hell you going to tell me anything? And he was like, he had to stop and he was like, oh. Well, yeah, but this. I'm like, dude, you don't know none of this shit. You just talking shit. You're mad because I'm telling you we're not going to be under your thumb. And me and him, we didn't speak for a long time after that. And it just so happened my grandmother got sick and died.
Man, rest in peace to grandma, man.
And we came down there for the funeral and everything.
And that's Curb's mom.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it was like really crazy because Jarrell didn't like nobody. The only person he liked was Curb's wife. He would sit there and he would talk with her, but he wouldn't talk to nobody else. And it felt like he could see a spirit or something in the house because there were certain places in the house he would not go. He would stand there and he would look and he'd turn right back around. So Curb tried to basically say I'm sorry without saying I'm sorry and tried to hand me $100. And I'm like, what is that for? I'm like, no, I don't know. What is that for? He's like, well, just in case you need it. I'm like, I don't need $100. And he kept trying to give it. I said, I tell you what, we'll buy something for the kids and we'll say it's a gift from you then. So that's what we did. And I didn't know it at the time. Bree was on her way in Mariel. So when we confirmed that was happening, Mariel convinced me that, I needed to actually speak to him and let him know that he had another grandchild coming.
Quick question though. After I'm hearing all this stuff, you know what I'm saying? Because we taking a ride, we on the roller coaster, and we taking the pictures. We taking the people out through the tunnel. They seeing different pictures of the snakeskin Bible of what kind of man your father is. So in that situation, do you feel he was making any passes or any little advancements at Mariel at this time or any given time? as you go back and recollect on it?
Like I always knew that he found her attractive.
What gave you that inclination that he found her attractive?
Oh, you could tell. You could tell. You could see the way he looked at her.
He had the googly eyes. I mean,
Yeah, he kept talking about how beautiful his daughter-in-law was and everything. And at first I thought, yeah, I guess I'd be a little bit giddy too. Jarrell one day comes home with this beautiful daughter-in-law for me, and like they'll be like, "Oh, yeah, he brought me a brought
right.
home a dime." But then it became a different type of feel to it because you could tell the way he talked to her and everything was like really creepy. And like, yeah, and I discussed it with one of my partners at work, and he's like, "Dude, it sounds like your old man's trying to fuck your wife, man." And I laughed about it,
Mm.
but I'm like, it does feel like that. And me and her talked about it, and she laughed about it, and she says, "My friends say the same thing too."
How would her friends know that?
Because she talked to her friends and told them how about this.
Now, another thing, how was she receptive of him with those little advancements?
She didn't really say a whole lot, but she giggled about it. You could tell she enjoyed the idea of being wanted.
She's a sick motherfucker.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's a sick motherfucker. I'm gonna just say that for the show right now. You
Like
know,
when we went down there for the funeral, a lot of people eyes were on her. And I mean, like a lot of my cousins and everything, they don't see no exotic women out there. It's Tennessee. You just white or black. You ain't shit else. So, they were like, wow, look at that, and all that. And, it was like a big deal. Her coming through there was like I just walked in with J-Lo or some shit, man.
right.
And, I didn't trip because, I'm like, fine, nobody be disrespectful. Yeah, okay. You think she's hot? Okay, cool. But, she could tell me exactly who was looking and when they were looking and everything. And I'm
Oh,
like,
she was really enjoying that shit.
oh, she loves that shit, man. She loves that shit. So I didn't trip about it, but I'm like, all right. So eventually, me and Curb come to a kind of peace based on Bree coming.
Y'all find out Bree coming. It settled everything down for us. It kind of seemed like it was bringing the family together and whatnot, knowing
That
that this
that
little
and a big breakthrough came with me and Josh.
okay. And then y'all got to have a real good bonding moment and things was really starting to come together.
Right. But the funny part about me and Josh bonding, it was based on my dislike of Curb.
What okay. Elaborate for the people what you mean about that, because I'm interested, like the audience might will be.
Okay.
He had a funny feeling towards Kurt out of
No.
all the kids.
No, no, no. Okay. I began to think to myself, kicking his ass is not working. So I said, why don't we try something different? And I thought back to myself, what did I not like about my father? And I thought about it, and I'm like, I didn't like the fact that my father never listened to me. It's like I could be right, but he'll never know because he don't want to hear it from me. So I began talking to Josh more, and I let him talk. And the more I let him talk, they built a bond and a respect between me and him. And next thing you know, he's listening to me. He wants to know everything he can from me. And I made it clear to him, like, look, I know you're not the one that gets in trouble for everything, but I do know you get in trouble. And I told him, don't let that bad news ever beat you home. If you've done something, you better make sure I know before they tell me about what you've done. And he was like, does that mean I'm in trouble? I'm like, maybe. But you better make sure I know your version before I know their version. And
You get the ass toe up.
Yeah. And eventually it became a big thing where he talked to me all the time. And that led to another very twisted part of this whole story. Josh became like my little right hand man. And Josh is an alpha male. He's a right wing alpha male in a kid's body. The time he's telling me about anytime a teacher said something in school that sounded weird, he came right back to me like, Dad, what does that mean? Dad, that didn't feel right. What is this? What is that? And it got to a point where I'm the one who's calling up at the school like, what the hell are you trying to teach my kid?
How his mom was watching y'all relationship at this time?
She had given up because she couldn't do a damn thing with him. She had given up, and once she saw that I was making a lot of progress with him, she was very happy about it. Because, he was on the verge of getting kicked out of school. He was failing, his grades were failing, and his behavior was atrocious. They were ready to kick his ass out. Once she got out the way and I took over, the behavior improved and his grades went straight up.
He got some authority now. He started listening.
Mm-hmm. Not only did he start listening, he started growing. His intellect was growing, and he would talk, and the things he would talk about were way above his age. But I never treated him as a kid. I never sugarcoated anything with him. I always told him the truth on everything.
You told him the real.
Yeah. And because of that, there was a strong bond between me and him. So one day Josh comes and he's telling me about this teacher trying to groom him and trying to put him with some little gayish kid. And he's telling me about this, and I told him, I said, look, next time she tries to tell you to put you in that kind of spot like that, tell her she needs to talk to your dad first. And he saw that basically this fucked this teacher up, and he began using that as a weapon. And it got to a point where a teacher had a nervous breakdown because she couldn't handle the idea of having to talk to a man. She would rather bully a boy and try and soften him up. So I'm telling Curb about this shit, and he does this weird snicker. And I'm like, the hell is that? And he's like, guess you better get to them before they do. And I'm like, dude, what the fuck is that? You're supposed to be a grandfather. What the hell are you sitting up here giggling about somebody trying to groom your grandson? So, me and him at the time, he's always been a super radical left-wing nut. And he hated the fact that I liked Trump. So one day he asked me, what is it that you like about Trump? And I said, well, At that time, he was locking up a ton of pedophiles. I said, well, hell, he's locking up the pedophiles. He said, well, yeah, I can see why you would like that. I'm like, what the fuck does that mean? You don't like the locking up of pedophiles? What the hell is that? And when I called him out about it, he said he had a doctor's appointment he had to go to. And he got off the phone real quick. So, you know, I told Marielle about it. And she was like, you really shouldn't talk to me about that. I'm like, why? And she's like, that's real creepy for your father. And I don't want to have to treat him like the way that sounds like. And I'm like, you might not like that, but it is the truth, and I'm not going to hide it from you. I'm like, hell, what would I look like knowing that he has this kind of behavior or these kind of thoughts or whatever, and not telling you, my wife, about it? And she's like, I get it, but I don't really want to talk about it because it sounds disgusting. So, you know, me and him, we stopped speaking for a good while after that. And apparently, while we weren't speaking, he was going back, and him and Marielle were speaking. So when the shit hit the fan, and I ended up getting fired thanks to her and Mr. Jared Bass.
What you mean? What? You got fired from the job?
Yeah, I got fired from Sparklets behind them too. Remember I kept telling you about I was having to rush home from work because she kept leaving the damn kids by themselves?
Yes, yes.
She was fucking around with him. That's why. Remember, I thought he kept saying it was Lamia, but he was Lamia.
He was Lamia. Ah, got it. Got it. All right. All right. All right.
So, you know, we didn't have a way to pay the rent. And she wanted me to call him, and I'm like, fuck him. So she calls him. And he wants to talk to me. So me and him had a conversation. And, you know, he's trying to give me these lectures about how great of a wife I have. And I'm like, you don't know about this cheating piece of shit? I didn't say nothing to him. I just let him talk. And he's like, now you come to me needing my help now. I'm like, but you ain't spoke to me in damn near a year or so. I don't know how many, when this was that he said this.
And he was on the phone talking spicy like that?
Yeah, so I got spicy with him. I say, look, you want to know why I didn't speak to you? It's because you on here talking this pedophile shit. And I said, you do understand I will fucking kill a pedophile. And here you are acting like one. And he backed up and he was like, well, what do you mean? I told him, jogged his memory about what he had actually said. And at that point, he was like, he tried to dance his way out of it and everything. But I'm like, no, these are your words that came out of your mouth. And you really think I would do these kind of things? I'm like, I don't know. I didn't think you would think that was humorous considering you are a grandfather. And I'm like, hell, your own son was a victim of these type of people. I don't think that you should be sitting up here taking it lightly, having a little stupid snickering grin about it. And, you know, he swore up and down that wasn't what it was, and I just misunderstood him and all this bullshit. But, you know, I'm like, nah, you can't play with that. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
And like, you hanging out with your partners one night and your partner make a gay pass at you.
Man.
That's a point of no return. Like, hold on, homie.
It sure is.
Before and after. So, you know, I sit there and he was I always kept him at arm's length when it came down to the biz after that. And
As you should.
Mariel began to tell me that he used to call her and try and get details from her about what happened to me as a kid. And I'm like, what you mean he wanted details? And she said that he was talking about he needed to know more details so he'd know how to pray about it. So, in other words,
what is it that he wanted to know about?
He thought that she knew specific details about sexual activity.
Or what happened to you?
Yeah. So, in other words, his word for prayer, here's a word for jerking off is prayer.
But as a father, he already violated the Father Code Act.
Oh, yeah.
Because he didn't protect his kid at all costs.
He did not.
After finding out what the fuck was really going on, man.
Absolutely. Now, with the whole thing that's going on right now, he's been in lockstep. He's been helping her the entire way. Now, keep in mind, she knows about his pedophile tendencies.
So you telling the people right now, your father is helping the wife, the estranged wife, against his own fucking son.
Yep.
What a real piece of work this guy is, man.
And why would he do that? The only thing I could think of is the son is not going to let me anywhere near these kids, but the wife will.
Yeah.
She'll do any damn thing as long as there's a check and as long as there's a dollar sign associated with it.
So by him doing that, what part you think he played in doing a lot of this shit? Like,
well, I don't know if I told you about it, but he knew they were going to kidnap my kids. And when they did, he didn't say nothing. He just let it happen. Now, he could have helped me get my kids right back, but he didn't. Let me take a quick break, Jeezy.
I got you. Man, this is a deep story, man. Like I told y'all, man, this story has a lot of layers to it. I was shocked and floored. I don't know if y'all can tell by my facial expression, man. I was floored by getting some of that privileged information that we got in the beginning of the show, man. I was really shocked. And for parents to know that kind of act happened to their kids, man, you got to be a real dirt scumbag motherfucker, man. I mean, I would, if I was a parent, I wouldn't be able to live with myself knowing that somebody violated my kid, man. I mean, the president not gonna stop me. The laws is not gonna stop me. No one is gonna stop me from getting some goddamn justice for my damn child, man. If they violated my kid, man, I'm sorry. That's just how the way it's gonna have to be, you know. But that's some foul bullshit. And I hate my friend had to endure some kind of shit like that, man. But goddamn, man, that is some despicable act worth of shit that was done to him, man. I hate that shit for him. On the cool, man. That's some no good shit.
It's very evil, man. It's evil on a whole nother level.
And I wasn't trying to curse as much, man, but I done got kind of worked up listening to the story, man. My violent meter has risen, and
It'll do that, man. I mean, I ain't gonna lie. If there's ever anything besides my kids good that came out of knowing this piece of shit woman, it was it opened me up to actually talk about this. Because me and her had a conversation about it, and it was weird because I'd never told anybody.
Right.
And it's certain parts, in my opinion, there's certain values in a woman that can make a man whole.
Exactly.
And there's certain things that you can talk to with your woman that you can't talk to with anybody.
Absolutely.
And that was one of the things. I mean, me and her shared that. And, she shared her demons. And she has many demons. That's a whole full episode right there. Her demons.
We'll get to her demons a whole nother time.
Yeah, we're not gonna do that now.
Right.
But it was I think it actually was very important for me to be able to let go and actually talk about that, as far as me being the father that I am. Because you have something that's just so ugly, so hurtful that you had to hide it deep inside of you.
Right.
And to be a father, you can't have a real ugly secret like that. And it's not like it was a secret that's something I did. It was just something that was just like, you just put it away and you're like, nah, man, I can't do that. I can't talk about it. I can't face it. But to be able to lead your children, you have to be able to face everything.
Mm-hmm.
And that was a big part of things, man. I mean, it was real eye-opening. And I mean, there were things that came up that were just kind of crazy.
Right.
Like he had her open up a USAA bank account so he could sneak money to her.
And the whole time he's doing all this stuff behind his own flesh and blood's back.
Oh, yeah. And this was back when me and Marielle were still good.
And this the man is calling himself a pastor.
Oh, yeah. Swear up and down. Always telling you how he wants to pray.
A man of God, the man of the church.
Yeah, the snakeskin pastor. Now I'm sitting up here, he's spreading this absurd rumor that I'm still fighting my divorce, trying to win this woman back.
Oh, wow. He said that.
Because it came from my aunts. And I'm like, why would you believe this nonsense? I don't want her back.
How did your aunt present that information to you? Like they just
in a text message. In a text message. Now I wanted to talk to them through maybe a Zoom call or whatever, and I help them understand what's going on and let them know that I'm not backing down. So if you hear some crazy stuff about me or whatever, know that it's a lie. And all I get is I need to move on and just pay some child support.
And you making that statement, man, that sounds just like that woman, man. It sounds exactly like that woman talking, man. For them to say that, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And then because I remember one time you had relayed some information to me when you had told me one day that and you told me this statement she made, man. That shit bothered the fuck out of me, man. I'm like, what kind of motherfucker you think you fucking are? Yeah. When she made the statement saying, men tell her you ought to be lucky to have her.
Yeah, I remember that shit.
Like, bitch, what are you fucking bringing to the table? You know what I'm saying? Like, who the fuck are you? Who died and made you fucking Princess Diana? You know, like my boy, who the fuck is this guy?
Like I say, I mean, I didn't burst her bubble because I know if I would have told her how much ass I passed up, there would have been a lot of friction in the house. Her little ego would have been able to handle that. And you know, I've lived a life filled with women that most motherfuckers would go crazy for. So it ain't shit to me for a hot woman to be looking at me and everything, and I'm still like, no, I'm going home because I got something at home that she can't replicate. I got my family, you know, and I never wanted to bring any drama to my family. I never wanted to bring no trouble to them. I wanted them to have the peace and tranquility I never had.
That's totally understandable.
Because you know, if you let a child develop the way they're supposed to, there's no telling what potential this child could have. I'll never know what the fuck I could have done. Because I've always tested well.
You talking some good shit too, man. Yeah.
I did that stupid ASVAB crap for what was it, the Navy? They told me I tested well enough to do anything in the Navy I wanted to. They would have paid for me to go to school to do anything I wanted to, but I never went.
So with all this in-house trauma and stuff going on, like you said, you feel like you was never really able to unlock your full potential in your adolescence years.
I never got a chance, man.
Right.
Like, moms didn't help me with college. But you know who she did help?
Go ahead, tell us.
Her daughter Tamara. And tell me how many hours of college credit did Tamara ever get?
0.
Everything I've ever done in my life has been done by me. I never had that safety net, man. I didn't have that safety net. I didn't have that boost up. I didn't have no politician pappy who could call the police to help me get a piece of ass either. I didn't have no silver spoon. I mean, a lot of people, they meet me and they think because of my demeanor or my personality that I'm some kind of spoiled guy. But no, I've never been spoiled. Everything I've gotten was gotten by me. Not my fault that I enjoy what I get.
And people don't realize how intelligent you are, man. So that's why I be just sitting back laughing, man. You know, I ain't never heard no funny shit about you and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? But like when we worked at TSA together, man, you told me how to fight the motherfuckers back, you know, with an iron metal pipe and shit like that, man. You know, we got on the front line and did our thing together. You know what I'm saying? Being apart, working in 2 different sections of the airport, we did what we did. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah. But it was very much needed, and not for the rest of those motherfucking monkeys that was still down. And I'm gonna get on y'all roll here in the upcoming episode too, because a lot of them motherfucking niggas up there, I don't like them niggas and I can't stand them. But that's another episode.
Tell you, one of the angriest days I've ever had was that day when I walked in that break room and them bastards were laughing. I'm looking up and I see all these niggas sitting up there laughing. I did not see a one white person laughing. And I'm sitting up here like in this man's face. You swear up and down, y'all down for the cause. You swear y'all cool. He ain't here. You know the lie. You see the lie, but you're laughing like it's a fucking cartoon. I remember I left out of there. I was so pissed. I went and called Roy Ray right away.
I remember just like yesterday, man. They hunted us down like animals and shit over a fucking lie that wasn't even fucking true. Right?
Not even remotely true.
Not even fucking remotely true. And I'm gonna tell you some more crazy shit too, man. I had motherfuckers in my own family believing that shit, right? And you know what I said? I said, you motherfuckers ain't no family to me because shit, you gotta know better to know what the fuck is really going on, right? And I had to realize what kind of old school sellout motherfuckers they was too. I don't fuck with them motherfuckers. Right?
Let me tell you this. When this shit is all over, there won't be any T Will anymore. I'm scrubbing the name, man. I'm gonna change my shit completely.
I'm following you.
Because
I'm following you with you.
I'm no fucking Wilson. Fuck them. Fuck them completely. Every Wilson that ever mattered to me is dead already.
Oh, boy, you talking that shit, boy. You talking that shit. Hey.
Fucking true, man. I mean, don't get me wrong. I got nothing against my cousin Arthur, but he's not a Wilson. He's an Ingram. Still got love for him. And I got love for his dad. His dad has been nothing but love to me also. But them Wilsons, fuck them. Fuck all of them.
God damn, man. Shit. And and look, man, I apologize for going off on that TSA part of the rant, man. But every time I think about that shit, man, that shit get my blood boiling, man. Cause these motherfuckers don't know what we went through with that shit. You know what I'm saying? They locked and shackled me like an animal 3 different fucking occasions. So I had nothing but motherfucking beef against the motherfuckers. Especially that last time, man, my mama had to come to the fucking court, nigga. And I almost threw a chair in the courthouse, nigga. I was so motherfucking enraged, man. They had to make me go in the bathroom to calm me down, man. And I would have seen any one of them motherfuckers in their streets. Ain't no telling how that shit would have went.
I tell you, man. People don't understand the amount of pressure it is when you have the government against you. And they gonna think you crazy. The only person that's gonna be able to understand is a person who's already been in that situation or is in that situation.
Absolutely.
I can't lie. If not for this man, I probably would have cirrhosis. Because back in the day, I used to keep 6 bottles on my drink carousel and 6 more in reserve. And I would have to buy like 4 bottles a week because every day I would go home from work, shower, change clothes, never touch the couch, just walk by and grab me a bottle and go to the strip club and sit in the back of that bitch and drink by myself. I had to drink to calm myself down. I mean, who do you talk to about this shit? Everybody else is kikiing and laughing. Nobody understands what you going through. Everything is funny to these fucking monkeys. They think you the crazy one because you don't want to put up with no bullshit. But that's how far our people have fallen. If you're willing to fight, then you got to be crazy. If you ain't gonna
Absolutely.
be disrespectful, if you ain't gonna be disrespected, you crazy. I mean,
Absolutely.
it's very sad. Hell, what was it? I had an old white man cuss at me, and I said I wasn't gonna fucking put up with that shit. Because I didn't put up with it, that made me crazy.
We talking about Pappy.
It's originally it started out. The problem originated with Dwayne Divas.
Man, I'd put my foot up that motherfucker ass too. I ain't never liked that.
But
Lord, let me not say that. You know what? We're gonna save that for the TSA episode.
But I'm gonna tell you this though, Jeezy.
Yeah, go ahead, get it out. You can talk. God, hey, this your show.
I'm just so say I'm gonna tell you how fucked up how crazy this is. Me and Dwayne made peace.
Right.
You know, I looked at him and I said, I worked out there with him, and I'm sitting up here and I'm watching him. I'm like, you actually work. You actually give a shit about this place. You actually give a shit about what you're doing. And it made me respect him.
Right.
What I didn't respect was Pappy, because Pappy came out and attacked me. The beef shifted completely off of Dwayne to where it wasn't even Dwayne at all. It was all Pappy. And it was funny. The day when I told Dwayne we were cool, he damn near cried. He damn near cried right there in front of me. It's all right, man. I respect you. We okay.
I want to clarify the statement. All TSA people ain't bad because I still had a couple of friends that I, so-called friends and some friends that I did, still kind of communicate with off and on and stuff, man. Like, especially like my boy Albright, Jamie, man. Me and Jamie, I always been like that. Cool, man. I'm talking about cool.
Yeah.
We go to Shamrocks, drink, rock out, party. He ain't pulling no lead stunt on you, pulling that pulling little stripes on his collar and shit like that, man. We was all in the same fight together. You know what I'm talking about?
Oh yeah. And please don't think that it's all about black and white either, because there were plenty of white folks that were good.
Right.
I ain't saying an overwhelming of them, but there were plenty that were good. They were decent people.
Right. Like I miss Lil Jenny too, man. Lil Jenny.
Yeah, Jenny started out as my enemy, but me and Jenny became cool.
Man, Jenny knew the bullshit, man.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean,
Miss Penelope, that was my girl too. Miss Penelope, it's a few of them I can call, man. I can call their names and shit. You know what I'm saying? Good people, man.
You took me back, man. I don't even. I wonder whatever happened to Miss Jenny. I mean, when she's still kicking.
I don't know. We had to probably find her on Facebook or something if she's still alive. Cause what was the lady she used to be with all the time? Tamika or something? Tamika, yeah, Miss Tamika. Yeah, I remember Miss Tamika too, man. Yeah, man, yeah.
I don't know, man. It's just wild when you think about it, man. I was telling Jarrell one of the lessons I learned from TSA. You always got an enemy. Good chance is you don't even know who they are.
That's a cold line. Shit. That's a cold line now, man.
It's a great chance you don't even know who they are.
And they look just like you.
Oh, yeah. Hell, I remember when I took that job, I stayed on the southwest side. And I could have moved over there, but I chose to stay on the southwest side because I didn't want my name in their bullshit. And it did not matter. They had no way of knowing anything about me, and they made it up any damn way. I'm like, how are you even running my name into this shit? You don't even know me. But they did anyway. Me living on the other side of town did not make a difference. Me not fucking with them did not make a difference. There's always an enemy, man.
You ain't lying. Hey. I can't not agree with you when you ain't wrong, bro.
Yeah. We might have went way over. Well, it's 2 hours deep, but
it's all good.
This
hey
one
man.
This one was a very necessary one.
Shit, yes, it was.
This was very necessary. It's a deep it's a deep thing, and I mean, there's more information than what I would really want to give out to everybody, but for the purpose of what we're doing, yeah, it needed to be done. It needed to be done. It needed to be said, so you could understand what kind of demons we really dealing with in this world.
Right.
There are way more of them than you think there are. There are a lot more of them than you think they are. That Snakeskin Bible, yeah, that's gonna be a book all on its own. I'm gonna write that book.
Right. So what the people was getting tonight was just a little bit of, we still chiseling at it because we got into a lot of shit about it. But the part about him messing with Mariel,
his very questionable motives with the kids, and his deep hatred of his own son for no other reason other than his son was too strong to be controlled.
Right.
I mean, you know how sick you have to be to want to control a damn near 50-year-old man? You know how sick you have to be? This is a 70-some-year-old man. I'm not even going to call him a man. A 70-something-year-old piece of shit. I'm pretty sure he's in one of those little secret societies. He probably jerks off to little kids on every Tuesday or something. A very sick fucker. He's a very sick fucker. Because there's no way in hell you're going to tell me a normal person thinks it's humorous about some kind of weirdos trying to groom kids. Not only groom kids, groom their own grandchildren.
Right on.
I mean, I was just thinking about it. Before we did this episode, I thought about it. They go and attack kids because they need to destroy them first.
Right. So basically, they build enough to break them down.
Well, they break them down, period, so they could groom them into what they want.
Right. The agenda.
Yeah. Once you've crushed the confidence, you can pretty much do what you want. You can turn them into whatever the hell you want. And we got to step up, man. If this world has taught you anything in the last, say, 5-10 years, we got to protect these kids at all costs.
Most definitely, at all costs.
At all costs, man.
If it even costs hell or jail, shit, we got to do that, man.
We got to, man. Now, I didn't see any comments, so nobody came in this time, but
It's okay.
Huh?
It's okay. We still. I'm gonna push this one right here. This was I I'm gonna say out of all our episodes, this one here resonate to me the heart with this one.
I mean,
all of them do, but I'm saying this is.
No, I'm just saying. You watch this. You got some questions, some comments. Put them in there. We'll address you. We'll come back to you. Because no matter how you put it, this is important shit. This is world changing shit. I mean, I'm not trying to say I'm the Messiah or nothing like that, but we all need to look at our own self like we can be the Messiahs. We could do this. We have to do this. We need to band together. This is super important. This ain't about no Hennessy or no stupid shit like that. Nobody cares about T.I. and 50. We're talking about the real thing, man. We're talking about the kids.
Right.
Let's get it done, folks. Let's get it done.
The kids are the future, man.
Yeah, and we can't keep letting them destroy it. On that note, you want to close us out, Jeezy?
Yeah, man. Hey. Man, a lot was said in this episode. I stands by my guy T Will. We planting our flag in the soil, man, and we kicking ass and taking names, man. We ain't taking this shit no more, man. You know, and I think we got a lot out, man. This was a lot that we was able to get out. And we've been on live for 2 hours and 18 minutes. Shit. You know what I'm saying? Hey, it seemed like, you know, I ain't gonna lie, the conversation was so good and deep. It seemed like it was like 45 minutes or to an hour or something, man. And we was able to push a whole other hour and some change up out of it, man. So these the conversations that need to be had for the people. So, you know, this shit can get out there. The message for the kids can get out there and things can be expressed in the order and the manners they need to be.
Yeah. I mean,
and I appreciate you for even sharing, you know, these stories with me and, you know, everybody else and this information on the platform, man. You know what I'm saying? And so for that, you know, you'll always have our gratitude. That's why I told you, I say, look, you got a segment on my show whenever you ready to go, you know, live. And even, you know, we are, you know, I don't know if you even seen any of my other shows, man. We just be popping our shit, you know, just having fun and having a good time.
Yeah, I try and drop in occasionally, but you know,
I know you be busy.
The other day I was over some folks' house, man. I didn't even want to do. I didn't even want to be on live with them over there too.
Yeah, no, that I understand. So you know what I'm saying. I'm just saying the kind of the content I'm trying to drop is, you know, having laughs, fun and shit, but we're gonna get on the real shit too, like we've been getting on too.
Yeah, one day I'm gonna drop in and we're gonna do some fun shit too, man.
Yes,
I don't want anybody to sit up here thinking I'm going crazy every day.
No, you ain't going crazy, man. You know, just the people just need, like I said, I just want the people to hear and know your story, get it out there, man. And I don't want it to just stop here until it start gaining legs and get traction and we get the shit really out there to the proper channels that it needs to go to. You know, like I said, you know, I'm just starting this, man, and you know what I'm saying? I'm trying to, you know, get people to come on and check out what we got going on and stuff. And so, hey, even if we got to reach out to some big names, like I told you, we reach out to some big names and we get the story out there with some other people that got people that can come on and, you know, we make it move.
Make a difference.
Yeah.
Make a dent in this.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, because I mean, I understand my story is very vivid, very bizarre, but I guarantee you there's a lot more snakeskin Bible stories out there than just me.
Right. So we got into a lot tonight. The next time we're doing a part 2 to the snakeskin Bible story. Is it anything else you want to? Not saying not now, because I still, like I said, I know it's a lot of layers to. Because we done talked about some other shit, you know what I'm saying? But I know it's some other layers to the story? Or
we're gonna
we'll save it for the book and we move to another.
We'll save a little bit. Well, that, and I mean, you really have to go back and digest everything, and just see where it takes you, man.
Right.
Because we can't do it every week on the snake skin, but there are other things that need to be discussed.
Gotcha.
And I mean, we could go on about the snake itself.
We'll do that. We'll do that. We can do that.
Or we could actually do a deep dive into the Bass family saga. Now, this one could be very, very interesting because there's a lot that's hidden there, and it makes you scratch your head quite a bit. You got to wonder, why is it hidden? Who's hiding it? Like, there's tons of people. And like, you look at famous people all the time, and you got to ask, well, I understand they got some money, got a lot of money, but math don't math. Why do they have that kind of money? Now, you got to ask yourself, how many, if you know all these famous people have money that don't make sense, what about these regular people that have money that don't make sense?
Right.
What about they have these positions that don't make sense? What did they do? Who did they do it? Who are they doing it for? Bass saga.
Very interesting. Very interesting. All right. Well, me and you we'll sit together and brainstorm on what we're gonna talk about next. If you want to grab a drink or something at some point tomorrow, I'll be available.
I got Johnny's Johnny's wife's party tomorrow.
It's gonna be at his house.
Yeah. You want to swing by?
Maybe. Just let me know. Or Sunday. I'll be free both days.
Okay, Sunday I'm free completely.
So yeah, but
tomorrow's a big day. I'm not gonna I can't duck out on that one.
Gotcha. I got you. So yeah, my boy, that's like I say, man, that's my take on it, man. We're gonna fight, man. Like I say, the flag planted in the ground, and we ain't gonna stop. We're gonna chisel at Fort Knox till we knock that motherfucker down. That's just,
yeah, we build our own Mount Rushmore. Fuck them.
Right.
I'm
all for it.
All right, man. Let's close it.
All right, my boy. Shit, it's been real. I appreciate you coming up, man. It's all love, man.
All right, man. We'll holler tomorrow, man. We're gonna have to set up that different communication chain.
Gotcha.
All right,
Ken.
We out, man.
All right, man. Salute, baby.
All right. Later.
All right, my family. Hell of an episode. The Snake Skin Bible episode. I really enjoyed this episode, man, and this one gonna really hold a special place in my heart, man. And my heart is there with my boy, man. My heart go out to him too. You know what I'm saying? It be some real shit going on in people's lives, man. It be some real shit going on, man, and we just gotta keep stepping. We gotta keep stepping. We're gonna keep on stepping. We gotta keep repping and stepping, man. But I really appreciate him coming up on my platform to share his story to the G-Way show. And like I say, I'm always grateful. This is platform as well, you know. And we most definitely gonna get into some other content. I'ma hopefully try to bring y'all some more content here tomorrow in the YouTube streets, because it is a lot going on, and I haven't been able to address some things that's been going on in the YouTube streets. And I was able to sit down and watch some stuff going on YouTube And I was like, damn, really? All this shit was going on. And I won't even talk about this T.I. versus 50 Cent. I'm still not going to discuss it, but I'm going to discuss T.I. a little bit. T.I., man, you know, he can, you know, I don't know, man. I feel some kind of way about Tip, man, nowadays. You know, this seeing all this clown stuff going on, man. But you know, that's a topic for another day. But I hope y'all enjoyed the content. You know, I went on 3 streams. We streaming on 3 sites right now. We on YouTube, we on Twitch, and I tried it on Facebook. And on Facebook, I guess I don't get no comments or whatnot. I don't even know if anybody chimed in or see the stream on Facebook, but I was just trying something out new tonight to try to get this story out there and get it a little more, you know, give it some more traction to the consumers' appeal and their ears and everything, man. But it's all right. We still gonna push the agenda. We're gonna get the story and the narrative out there by hook or by crook, man. We're gonna do what we have to do. But I hope y'all enjoyed the show tonight. I hope y'all enjoyed the content. And like I say, man, I'm gonna bring y'all some more content here. Hopefully, like I say, maybe tomorrow. I'm gonna pop out tomorrow at some point. I'm gonna pop out tomorrow for y'all before I get on another level, you know. And if I get on another level, I might still pop back out, man, and y'all see me in my rare form, man. Who knows? Who knows? Y'all rub the genie lamp and you'll see what y'all might get. Y'all might get Jesus' piece, or y'all might finally get to meet the Antichrist. You just never know with my mind, man. But, you know, hey, it is what it is. But on that note, man, we going to go and close the show out, my good people. And till we meet again, man, y'all be safe for the night. And this has been the G-Way Show from your boy Jesus Peace. Y'all have a good night.